everyone, this is Julie. Oh. Hi everyone, this is Julie. I'm going to be doing a review on a couple of skincare things that I've been using quite consistently for about almost a year. They're my toners, which is the Thayer's Witch Hazel toner, and it's going to be also be the SK2 Facial Treatment Essence, and then also the Tatcha water cream that I've been using. Just kind of warning you guys, this is my first time ever doing a review, so I'm super camera shy. But just bear with me because I'm really excited to tell you guys about my experience with skincare. I definitely am not like a scientist to know a lot about these things, but I definitely know what works for me, and I would really be happy to share those things with you guys. So let's get started. Just letting you guys know, what's on my skin right now is just mascara and a little bit of lipstick. I don't have anything else like foundation or any eyebrow stuff or anything like that. The reason why I want to do this is because I want you guys to see a lot of my natural skin texture, especially in natural lighting. Especially with skincare, I've always been taught not to wear foundation. Like, you know, for some people, like that's their ritual, that's what they like to do. For me, I've always been told not to because my mom always told me, like, you know, it'd make your skin look older and clogs your pores, you're gonna get acne. Whether or not that is true, can be argued with a lot of other people, but I definitely know that because of what I've been taught, that's how I am now, and that's why I don't really use anything like foundation. I tend to just like to focus on the eyes and the lips. This one resonates with me, not necessarily because it's like some miracle worker type of toner. This was just one that really stuck to me because it was the beginning of a very successful journey from trying to resolve a lot of my acne issues in college. I broke out a lot in college, and I even went through like tretinoin, which really helped with my acne, but at the same time really made me break out, made me really sensitive to it. So I wanted something a little more natural. I wanted something that I could really incorporate into my routine. And at that time, one thing I was missing a lot was simply just like a toner, just something to kind of wipe off the residue of the day. I already don't wear a lot of makeup, but definitely I have a lot of oils, just the dirt that I collect. I have used a different type of toner. It's like an astringent kind of toner. I was not a fan of that just because it had alcohol in it, and I noticed personally that when I was using a lot of alcohol-based products, it really made my skin break out and inflame. So I had like rashes everywhere, and it kind of sucked too because at that time I did not moisturize a lot, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But definitely this was a really, really big step for me and what changed my skin. For me, everything seems very natural. It does have aloe vera in it, and I personally get the rose petal because for me that's more soothing. I really like it at night. I typically use this formula, this toner, in the mornings to wipe off my face from my sleep, and then I also use it at night after I finish cleansing in the shower. I really enjoy it. It's very lightweight, very soothing, and I definitely think for me personally it's something I can't really stop using just because I've noticed that it really does help collect any of that extra residue that I haven't necessarily cleaned up from my cleanser. This toner is not that expensive. It's only about like $11, so I definitely would invest in this. This one really made my skin feel a lot more different, and I think it really contributes a lot to how I was able to get rid of most of my breakouts in college. This one is really, really expensive. I got this as a gift from my parents. And yeah, I definitely have been using this for about a year now, and you can see that I've been very, very, very conservative with this. I only use it at nights after I cleanse and I put my toner on. For people that don't know what essence is, I guess the simple way of explaining it, because I wouldn't really know how the technical way of explaining this is, it's just like a medium between a toner and also a serum is the way I would say it. So it definitely, to me, it just hydrates my skin and it makes me feel like I'm eating up some nutrients that's definitely needed for my skin especially. Just having this essence I think has made a huge difference. I know some people are questionable about this product and whether or not it really works. There's this magical ingredient called Pitera or Pitera, whatever. I don't know if I totally butchered that, but yeah, this product apparently is like supposed to make your skin like look magical. I can't necessarily say it makes it look magical. I just definitely feel like it is essential in my routine just because it makes my skin feel a little more hydrated. And I don't know, it just makes me feel a lot more youthful. I feel like if I went straight for my moisturizer right after toning, I would be missing a particular step. It just doesn't feel as clean. It doesn't feel, I guess, as plump as I would like it. So for me personally, yeah, despite it being really expensive, you know, I got this as a gift, so I've been trying to use it as conservatively as possible. So yeah, if you guys are interested in getting it, I definitely would if you can't afford it. Otherwise, I say maybe invest in another essence if you can. But for me, this one works, and because I got it as a gift, I'm going to be using it as long as I can. The last thing I want to talk about is really important to me, and I try to emphasize this a lot to the people that I talk to when I talk about skincare, and it's about moisturizing. I think the most critical change that I had made in my skin was moisturizing. I live in a very dry area, but on top of living in a dry area, I have very oily skin. And so to me, it was very counterintuitive for me to, you know, put moisturizer on, put sunscreen on, and really, like, when I did put it on, I felt like, you know, it did make my skin feel oilier, look oilier. I also didn't wear, like, any foundation at that time either, so, or nor do I now, but, you know, it just felt like, man, like, this really makes my face look really oily. And again, I already have an oily face. I used to not have bangs. Right now I have bangs, but back then I didn't have bangs. So on top of, you know, wearing moisturizer that makes my skin even oilier, my forehead is really big, and so it just, like, my forehead would just shine because of how oily, like, my skin felt. And so anyway, I did not use any moisturizer. And then I came across the Tatcha water cream, and I was like kind of debating on using moisturizer just because at that time I was using tretinoin and you had to moisturize. So everything else that I was using, again, just did not feel really well. So I ended up using the Tatcha water cream. This sells for about $68 at Sephora, so it's a little pricey. But the first one I got was as a gift, which was really awesome. And I fell in love with it. And I think it's not necessarily the product that I think it is. I just definitely think that this leewayed me into moisturizing more. And because I moisturize a lot more, I felt like that contributed the most to getting rid of my acne, all my breakouts, all this inflammation, and the occasional hormonal breakouts that I would have. I definitely think the Tatcha water cream is a seasonal thing for me, just because, again, in the summer, you know, it's really hot and dry out here, so something like light like this, you know, just soaks into my skin, it stays on, it doesn't feel greasy, it just feels really good. But when I did use this in the winter, I felt like it was not enough, and I needed more of a creamy type of moisturizer, and at that time I lived in a pretty dry climate, but I also lived in a very cold climate at that time too. So this one did not work for me in the winter, but it definitely works for me in the summer or in the hotter months. But I definitely think that regardless of this product or what product you do use, if there's anything that has changed my skin the most, it's definitely moisturizing. If you don't moisturize, I would highly advise it. Your skin already is a miracle worker in my opinion. I think it's very neat, like, you know, after the day, you know, your skin is able to protect itself and still be able to, you know, turn over and just make sure that, you know, as you're aging, you know, it's not falling apart. Um, so, you know, the skin is already so unique in that, you know, and I think that, in my opinion, moisturizer is like hydration and the nutrients and water that is necessary for your skin. Just like with people, you know, we need water, we need hydration, we need food. Well, moisturizer is also the same thing. It needs its water. You can put all these cleansers, you can wipe it squeaky clean, you can put all the serums you want, you can put anything you want on it, but if you do not give it its hydration, it's not going to be able to function, it's not going to be able to protect itself. Same thing goes with the body. If you don't feed, you can feed itself all the right things, but if you don't drink enough water, then nothing's really going to happen. Or things will happen, but at a much slower rate, a much slower pace, and a more painful process. So I definitely do recommend for anybody that may be breaking out a lot to find a moisturizer, moisturize a lot. I moisturize twice a day. If there's anything I do twice a day, it's going to be moisturizing. I don't even cleanse twice a day. I cleanse once a day. I didn't even also realize how important it was until I started to visit a lot more warmer and humid climates, and I noticed that immediately once I had gone to a more humid climate, my skin just plumped up. It felt better, it worked better. Yeah, I broke out a little bit, but you know, it was like whatever, you know, it didn't really matter too much to me because I just felt like my skin felt really good, felt really hydrated. So definitely, like, if you need a water cream, go ahead and get it. If you can get like a creamy one, go ahead. For me, I use a water cream during the summer, and I use a creamier texture, which I'm still trying and playing around with, but I definitely use more of those ones in the winter. So yeah. Thanks again for listening to me, guys. You guys know that I am pretty camera shy since this is my first time. Hopefully after doing a couple more I won't be as nervous. But yeah, thanks again for listening to me. I'll be doing some more reviews on the cleansers that I use, and hair products that I use, and also some special products that I use for my skin, especially during the night times or on a weekly basis. So again, thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you guys the next time. I don't know when that will be, hopefully in about a week or so. Alright, bye!